Wanna play?
Here's Johnny!
I need a bigger boat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wanna Play. My name is James McKenna, and today I wanted to rank all the killers and apprentices in the Saw franchise. Now, in Saw, there are now 9 films, and amongst those 9 films, there are 7 killers slash apprentices of John Kramer himself, the Jigsaw Killer. And today, I wanted to rank them all for you. Now, a lot of people wanted me to have ranked Jill Tuck, John's wife, but I didn't know whether to include her because we never really get a whole movie dedicated to her or a whole big twist, and she never actually really kills anybody or sets up a major trap. So I asked the Facebook page, This Is Our Design, if I should include her, and the majority of them said that I shouldn't, so this list will be going on without Jill Tuck. If you want to know where I'd rank her, let me know in the comments down below and I'll reply to you. But without any further ado, it's time to rank all the killers in the Saw franchise. So let's get straight into it. So in last place is going to be Logan Nelson from Jigsaw. Man, this reveal is so unbelievably stupid. For those who don't know, it's basically the Scream 3 twist where he gets unmasked and they reveal, oh, he's been there the whole time, and he was behind the events in the original, 2nd, 3rd, all the way up till the 7th, and now he's here, even though it's the first time that we see the guy. And also, John Kramer in the flashback scenes looked much older than he did even in the previous movie. It doesn't make any sense. It takes away from the franchise. It adds lore that is completely unnecessary and dumb and just something that all of us would want to forget and wipe away from the canon of this franchise because, man, is this a stupid reveal. Next up is going to be Dr. Lawrence Gordon from Saw 3D. Now, the reason why he's ranked above Logan Nelson is because, I'll be honest, it was cool seeing him come back after not being in the franchise since the first movie. It was fun seeing him return after various other returns from other characters in the previous entries in the series, but Dr. Lawrence Gordon never returned, but he was revealed to be, again, in on it pretty much since the beginning, but they never elaborate on why. It's the same thing with Logan Nelson. They never really elaborate on why, but at least they try to in Jigsaw. With this one, they just rip off the mask and it's like, oh my god, we'll see you in the sequel, but then the sequel reveals another guy, so it just doesn't make sense. And even within the lore of the first one, how like John had kidnapped his family and like held his wife and daughter up to gunpoint and stuff, and then he's just all of a sudden on John Kramer's side. Like, it just doesn't really make sense to me, and there's really no other spot that he could have ended up. I might get some heat for including this guy on this list, but I don't care. It's Zep Hindle from the original Saw. Now, why is he so low? Basically because he was really the only guy forced into it. He wasn't really an idol of John Kramer's. He found him fascinating and all that, but John really had to kidnap him in order to make him work for him and, you know, hold Lawrence Gordon's family at gunpoint, and he had to make a whole game out of this that if Zep didn't do the stuff he said, then John would kill his entire family. So basically because of that, and because he is kind of, I mean, his family's life was on the line, but he's the only Saw killer and apprentice that was kind of a pushover. he does end up in the second to last spot. Now, the reason why he isn't in the last place spot, though, is because you know what was named after him? This. Yeah, not so fun fact, because most of you watching this probably know that, the Saw theme song's technical name is Hello Zep. So there you go. At number 4 is going to be Detective William Shank from Spiral. Now the reason why he's at number 4 is because he's the first one on this list to actually make sense as a Jigsaw killer. The only reason why he's down this low, however, is because he's the only one that's predictable. Every other killer on this list, even John Kramer himself, is completely unpredictable. You see none of them coming, for the better or for the worse. But this is the only one where you're sitting through the movie, you know that there's a copycat killer, and you know that there's going to be a big twist reveal. And the minute you start to think, I wonder which one of these characters it's going to be and why, immediately you're like, oh yeah, it's him, this is why he's doing it. So I guess I'll just sit back and enjoy the rest of the movie, and you end up being completely right. I know that was a lot of people's complaints about Spiral. Their biggest complaint, they always said, hey, it's a really good movie, except the twist was extremely predictable, which lots of times Saw movies nailed down. This is definitely one of the weaker twists, but as I said, he is the first one on this list to actually make sense as a copycat Jigsaw killer, so he ends up at number 4. At number 3 is going to be Amanda Young. Now, I bet a lot of people would have wanted this to be at number 2, but for me, just taking everything into account, other than that initial amazing twist reveal, in my opinion, the greatest twist in any Saw movie at the end of Saw 2, when it's like, oh my god, she was in it the whole time, and they do all those callbacks to make it make sense with all the little references that you get throughout the film, and it's a truly shocking twist. But she isn't really the strongest Jigsaw killer in Saw 3 when she actually gets much more screen time and is the villain the entire time, and she gets killed pretty easily. I mean, all of these other killers really never met their match and never died and never were killed definitively. She was the only one to be just, nope, dead. Killed her in the 3rd movie, and we never saw her again. So, because of that, because of her being less of, I guess, a smart escape artist like all these other killers, she just barely loses out on the number 2 spot on my list. At number 2 is going to be Mark Hoffman. Now, Mark Hoffman is cool in the fact that he's in more Saw movies than anybody else other than Tobin Bell as John Kramer. He survives 4 movies, Saw 4, 5, 6, and 3D, and doesn't really return in Jigsaw or Spiral, which means that he's still out there. He's probably still doing his whole Jigsaw thing in the lore and world of the Saw movies, which is crazy. A lot of people think that all of the times he escapes aren't really earned, and a lot of people feel like his escape scenes and all that stuff are just forced, like the writers just want him to escape, so they come up with a bunch of lazy ways to do it. But if you think of it this way, if you think, here is Mark Hoffman, he is a complete badass, outsmarting everybody with the craziest and goriest traps in the series, man, there's really no other spot that he could have ended up other than number 2. He's really, really a cool character. But at number 1 is Jigsaw himself, the man that started it all, John Kramer. One of the most interesting characters ever, and a character who is written to be so smart that he dies in the 3rd movie, and there are 6 other movies to go where he still makes appearances in flashbacks, and there's all these other traps all set up and mapped out by him in this master plan that will basically go on forever because of how smart and interesting of a character he is. Now, anybody who's seen any of the Saw movies knows what I'm saying, and really anybody who's into horror on any level knows about John Kramer and how he's possibly the most brilliant, smartest horror villain ever. And because of that, just the simple fact, again, that he dies in the third movie and they have realistic ways to continue on his story, his evil, and his traps for 6 more films with a 7th on the way after Saw 3, he's gotta be the #1 pick on this list. Thank you for watching my ranking on all 7 Saw killers / apprentices of John Kramer. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments down below, as well as your ranking on all of these killers. You can even include Jill Tuck if you want to. Why not? You can also check out some of my other Saw videos if you would like to. I actually reacted to the original Saw a little while ago, and I've also ranked the series twice. So you can go check out those videos if you would like to on my channel, and you can also subscribe to this channel if you would like to, and you can even follow me on TikTok at JamesFromWannaPlay1 and on Instagram at JamesFromWannaPlay. But you don't have to do any of that though, but it will be greatly appreciated. So until next time, I thank you for watching, goodbye, and good night. Bang.